invitation to continue with the call today. And we'd like to begin this session with a few minutes of a meditation drill from the recordings of Bapdada. And enjoy the message, and we'll connect with the group in a few minutes.
Exercise दिए वो सारे दिन में कितने बार करते हो और कितने समय में करते हो।
invitation from the drill, may you constantly be like this. And two words struck me from yesterday. One was power, and the other one was parameters, which Anna mentioned. So when we are clear about the distinction between the soul and the raw, we have the parameters, and to be stable in that, then there will be power. And this is what I took from yesterday amongst the sustaining practices and all the questions and sharing. So I just wanted to bring to the attention of, I think translation is working, so that's good. So I'm now going to hand over and welcome those who've just joined, and also hand over to Prashant. So good morning, good afternoon.
Thank you. And welcome again. And so nice to start the session with Drishti from Baba. Those who have not been to Madhavan or have not met Baba in person, here is one phenomena where you are meeting, it appears you are meeting at a physical level, and things are happening at a drama level. At the same time, it is very, very obvious and emerged that you are not a bodily being, and we are using the word Baba even. So your body is female, but you are seeing something that is beyond the gender. And so this is the same experience happening. Now it is through technology, and but it is such an opportunity for us to position ourselves at another level. And that is the aim of our last 2-3 days. Soul consciousness means this. You are moving to another level. We use the word alokik. By the ordinary standard, it is radical. And it is good for us to be prepared for something that is radical. Because as we saw so far, the problem of the world is extreme. We are talking yesterday how we define the problem. They are radical. So something of that kind, answers have to be radical also. But then everything falls in place. The moment you understand, it's a different game altogether. Let me quickly remind some things we have spoken yesterday. I will use the board. Maybe I need a permission to use the board. Thank you. You might remember we said, what is our present position, or what is the diagnosis? That is what we started with. And what did we say? Let me draw it again. So what is the diagnosis? To start with, we understand that we are helping the invisible player. No government, no university is even dealing with this. So whom are we helping? There is the invisible player, and we said that invisible player is caught in the web in many levels. It is like being in a trap. He is unconscious. That is why he is not there to complain even what is happening. Like someone has an injury, he can tell, I got injured, I'm in a fight, someone has been beating me. But if he becomes unconscious, he's not even there to complain. So there is that situation, unconscious, the invisible player. And the third situation, there is the Ravan, 10 heads of Ravan. They are ruling. And one trait of Ravan, he's just confused. He's bad and sad, but his main trait is he's mad. And so Ravan is the one who gets trapped in this story at different levels, different things. One head is obsessed with some food, another head is obsessed with position. It is all in the story. Can you imagine someone spends his life in or he's just acting in a Cinderella drama for half an hour, but his whole positioning is how to get Cinderella famous, how to get Cinderella more gold. It is all going to finish in 10 minutes, but his whole life is completely ignoring his reality beyond. This is what Ravan does. Ravan is absolutely ignoring everything else. All that he's obsessed about is how people can praise his car and how he can get a bigger job, get a little bit praise for his nose and a little bit praise for his shoes, impress some others with his new castle. It is all going to finish in a short time. But Ravan cannot even see the absurdity of it. So that is Ravan. 10 heads of Ravan are obsessed in this. One head is obsessed with some sense pleasure, another head is obsessed with lust, but all within that story, different levels, but in that madness. And this is the life. Life is run by this. And in such a state, when we come to spiritual knowledge, it's still, we think how this spiritual knowledge can help me improve my job a little bit better, how to get a little bit better health. We are still thinking in the Cinderella context for a while. That will continue. So what we are seeing yesterday, first thing, to address this situation, we'll have to use the best intellect. Otherwise, with stone intellect, there is no contrast even. You don't even see there is any absurdity in it. Just to work all your life to get more, and then die. Die a death of a failure. Try to postpone death as much as possible. That is the life. In spiritual writings, it is nicely described. Life of that degradation, degraded intellect, is of anxious lust and lustful anxiety. Whole life, more. Will I get it? Will I lose it? Anxiety about that. Say anxious lust, lustful anxiety. And the death is a failure. You lost it all. That is of repentance and regret. This is the life in that stone intellect. That's why first thing for a spiritual student is start with paras and make paras stronger. Paras is not strong to start with. So more we use it, it will become stronger. It is like building muscles. And now you are at least seeing things clearly. It is not instant soul is conscious, but you are seeing beyond that blinkered view of stone intellect. You are seeing the reality of the invisible traveler. You are seeing the journey. You are seeing the temporary nature of what is temporary. And you are not asking for impossible, that things should never end there or never die. You are at least understanding the journey. You are understanding the bigger family of souls. You are understanding your life with God. So it is like it is light is coming in this bigger picture. This paras environment helps the soul to become conscious. It may start as glimpses, but this is important milestone for us. The soul becomes conscious. Even as we are talking, try and get into the experience of it. Soul that is conscious, it is a new start. We are not trying to make Prashant into soul or Prashant becomes spiritual. That is not the aim. Soul already exists. It is independent of Prashant and he wakes up. Soul existed even before the drama started. Let us understand this independence of the soul. Ego will try to make Prashant spiritual and Prashant into something more virtuous. That is his aim. So everything has to be projected on the role. That way, ego can continue its part. It is all nice. Prashant has to be virtuous, but here we are first understanding that independence of the soul. Right now, here, Prashant is talking, but we are understanding the soul exists. Invisible traveler is independent, and his existence is eternal, timeless. He is the invisible traveler here. For Paras, that is natural and obvious. He sees this big drama here, no different to Cinderella drama. Just that it is like far more sophisticated and on a big scale, but it is just a drama. And millions of characters within it. But every episode has an end. And something else, the different episode will start. You are now seeing this way. As you are doing this, already we are addressing these three problems. We started with the web. You are understanding the independence of the soul from the web. It's not during those seconds, minutes, is not in the web. That means the situations of the drama can't affect him, hurt him. He is conscious, he's not unconscious anymore. And once the soul is conscious, then during those seconds, Ravan is not conscious. Only one who can defeat Ravan is angel. You heard when Baba was speaking, he was underlining incorporeal and angel. The soul conscious soul is an angel. So the soul wakes up That is almost like the angel is being there. And when the angel is there, that stops Ravan's rule. So there's a quick revision of what was spoken yesterday. I might like to mention, we pay attention to this incorporeal, and we use the word unlocking, unearthly. Our whole reality is unearthly, unlocking. Only the gross is only the story is gross. Cinderella, the whole material is made of cardboard for Cinderella. In the same way here, the drama material is all gross. And our world is alakik, subtle, incorporeal, invisible, also eternal, and it is nice. All we need to do is use the right apparatus, use the right intellect to relate to this. Once you are doing this, then you have strength to stop. One is Ravan becomes weaker, but then we also need to take certain steps to eradicate some hates of Ravan. Because if I let, in my lifestyle, let Ravan continue with his bondages, Ravan's bondages are rather ugly. He can go to any level. So more he gets trapped in that box, then it will become difficult to experience the sky. It will be like words. One can use the words and experience peace and love and bliss and happiness, but experience will not be deep because there is Ravan's department, and Ravan comes with his own vibrations. So if someone takes a decision, you know by now the lifestyle of a Brahmin. So that lifestyle is aimed to stop Ravan's 10 heads, restrain Ravan. The more you stop supplies to Ravan, Ravan becomes weaker. For example, purity, celibacy, just stopping supplies of lust, to just one head of Ravan. He is obsessed with this. As we said, one head of Ravan will be obsessed with some food, and one head maybe with alcohol. With different people, different heads of Ravan are dominant. But if someone takes this decision, stop the supply to Ravan, dealing with impurity. But if he's serious, don't give supplies through television or some implied jokes. All of that feeds Ravan, keeps it alive. And in his case, the life will be, once Ravan is brought in picture, he hangs around in that story. His thoughts, it will be hanging around in that. It makes it difficult for him to fly. The soul cannot fly that easily. So clever step is stop Ravan. We are in a different game. We are not in the Shudra game. Shudra life is different. They think it is achievement to drink more, to indulge in different. That is Ravan's game. Here, our method is stop remove Ravan. And you will see the results, instant results. The moment Ravan is stopped, instant means same. If you take some decisions, you will find it is replaced with happiness. We used to have projects to help people give up smoking. And some patients, they would come and tell, they thought they will be unhappy after stop smoking. And they were surprised that they were actually more happy. And they're asking, how did it happen? I stopped smoking. Earlier, I thought I would be unhappy by this. So same thing happens with every head of Ravan. You remove one head of Ravan. It is replaced by happiness instantly. You want to add anything? Say anything?
I think it's not working at a superficial level, and knowing that ego would like to become spiritual with a completely different agenda. A question that came yesterday, does this mean being more cautious in our actions and interaction? So it's a simple question. It came at the beginning of yesterday's session, but I don't know if you want to
Be
add anything to
cautious.
that.
Yeah, it is like I don't exactly understand the context, but we have to be cautious. Makes sense. Do you? If it is in the context, you can type again.
And question now, how to remove each head after starting with the biggest.
As we, in the first sessions of Sanjivani, it is discussed in more detail. But in essence, what we are saying here is, as you are experiencing soul consciousness, as the angel becomes conscious and that and his vibration, that automatically reduces Ravan. You bring light, darkness becomes less. But we also said we have to stop the supplies of individual heads of Ravan. It's like guaranteed method. You don't feed anyone, he becomes smaller. Your thoughts and sometimes our lifestyle, it becomes nourishment. And we discussed it in more detail in the basic sessions. Just want to come to another area. In this area is we are seeing that the Ravan has a vibration. Ravan's big department, sad, bad, mad. There are different kinds of sorrow and different kinds of greed and desires. That is a big department. But even happy Ravan got all he wants. He has got his hat and he has got a title and everyone is praising him. That's all going well. But even happy Ravan can be happy. Ravan is indulgent and Ravan has his own happiness. But even in that Ravan, there's undercurrents. And in these undercurrents are certain emotions. And one is certain concern. Constant concern, what might happen tomorrow? What is going on? What will happen next year? For him, the story is, he's approaching that story with this confusion. So there are concerns, there are complaints. Whatever that happened yesterday, he will have some complaint about it. Or what is happening right now in front of you. Why it is like this? It should be something different. You will have questions. Why? This is like a big area. But all along, try and see if you are watching a James Bond film, and if one person in the audience is worrying about what is going to happen next, and why, what might happen, why they are not doing the right thing, he's complaining about James Bond, he promised one thing and he's doing something else. He's all the time questioning about why they did this, they should have done something different. I told them this is not the right thing. Compare what else happens. Criticize. So these are like different departments of Ravan's vibration. Ravan's complaints about a fixed repeating drama. He has things to complain. He has got things to question. He's comparing himself, why he's not having this. This is like a background commentary going on. These feelings, we call it a drop of poison. Do you notice this sometimes? Say it's ordinary life going on. Do you get this feeling sometimes? Do you notice this? In fact, this is going on non-stop, huh? But the question is, are we observing this? Not a big complaint, but there is something that you feel has not gone perfect, and you've got something to compare, something to criticize, and something to question and concern. If this stops, you feel whatever that is happening, it's a great script, drama. In the drama, like James Bond is a character. It is a producer, director have specially, written the drama like that, and it is meant for entertainment. You are not going there to disturb yourself by complaining about him, but you are going there to be amused by that character. Another character may be a joker, and another character is a dragon. They are all the characters in script is there for entertainment. Paras is seeing this whole physical world in a radically different way to the way ego sees. Ego, Ravan, these are like the different heads of Ravan. So Ravan is seeing as his world. He doesn't see it as another entertainment, another amusing thing, not as a story. So background, these feelings create a drop of poison. If you play, even for half an hour, play with this attitude, and especially paying attention that these are zero. All these feelings, you are bringing them to zero. Nothing to complain about, nothing to compare, no question. You are just getting this performance free of charge. Extraordinary performance happening right now in front of your nose. There's one quantum physicist, from San Francisco, Fred Alan Wolf. He says a big miracle is right in front of your nose. So this is like a big miracle right in front of our nose. Entertainment, whether you call it virtual world, whether you call it film, drama, it is there. Play with it, and you will discover that feeling of silent bliss. Not because of the drama, that bliss because there is nothing, no drop of poison underneath. The natural state of the soul is bliss. And that feeling you can never buy with any amount of, whatever you get, go for shopping. You cannot buy those experiences. That's why one who is conscious, he has a quality of life that cannot be compared to anything Ravan achieves. Ravan is a demon, you know. Even with some best achievements, he will have something to compare and there's something to be disappointed about, something going on. It is like madness, energy of madness is going. Like you just become step out of Ravan and that silent bliss. These are super sensuous experiences. When you are in that space, you realize this is the nature of everyone else. If they were to be out of this web and become conscious, they are beings of bliss and love. Because we can know others to the extent we know ourselves. So it is beyond knowledge. Knowledge tells us this, but you are understanding what it means. They all are immensely lovely. And you also know what has happened. Right now, what you are seeing is a Ravan-based life. Your invisible brothers are themselves not even conscious. If they were to be conscious, they will be beings angelic. They are angelic souls. In that state, when they know they are immortal and they got this sweet experience of bliss and they feel everyone is lovely, they are worthy of love. They are harmless, they are innocent. They don't need this complicated life of Ravan. It's a different game. Ravan has got all the street wisdom to survive, to be manipulative, to be clever. The angelic soul who is conscious, he doesn't need it. His whole thing is so secure that he is innately harmless. He knows he's beyond harm, clean, innocent. That's why words childlike and godlike, these words are good. And this is the reality. And this is the eternal reality. You are discovering this. If you call this silent celebration, it is there can't be any higher celebration than this. If you call it meditation, but more you are experiencing it, it not only helps you, it helps others also. Because you are creating light in this dimension. More you are experiencing this, it will become easy for others to experience it. As we said, the big thing that can happen to others, based on your diagnosis, you know that they have to be conscious and they have to come out of the web. This is the most important thing. And if you see them, it is a help for them. Otherwise, no one is acknowledging them. No one even knows that they exist. All are so caught up in the Cinderella drama that they are completely ignoring the invisible actors. So you are seeing this bigger map and you are shining light. That is like a big help. But in this process, everyone wins. To start with, you are experiencing it. As you are experiencing, you are also becoming free from Ravan's department. You create light that removes darkness. But this light from you doesn't stay just for you, it spreads. Light always goes beyond you. And so it becomes easy for others to win. So everyone wins. What an amazing thing. If you see the department of karma, also it's a extraordinary karma. Even great people, they don't even know this department. So if you are working at this subtle level, it becomes an extraordinary karma. You want to add anything?
I was just reflecting on the difference between being innocent and also wise, because you were just speaking about in Ravan's kingdom, there is so much complexity, and also there needs to be, or does there need to be, being streetwise, whereas this personality of the soul that is conscious is that there's innocence, but there's also wisdom. So just wondered if you have any thoughts on this.
Yeah, sure. The very fact that one is conscious, you are awake to this reality, your reality beyond the story. Story as story, that creates a huge, sort of department of knowledge and wisdom. You get a certificate for that wisdom. If it is beyond just words, if you are someone who is conscious, it means his embodiment. It is not just he's reading a book, but his embodiment of knowledge. But this knowledge and this understanding, wisdom, the result of it is he can afford to be innocent. And it is a bit like, bottom line, everyone wants to be secure. More insecure someone feels, he has to be streetwise. It is a question. I am saying more insecure a person feels. I'm emphasizing the word feels, because everyone is immortal and everyone is from the same home, same family. But each one can create their own confusion and can create their insecurities as they like. They can create more attachments also and feel even more insecure. That option is there. And then they got so much to lose, and they have to be more nasty and crafty and to make themselves secure. So innocence is compromised. There is not that. God is, one title for God is Lord of the Innocents. So he is himself that secure at that level. In essence, mind is not into some kind of paranoia. That mind is not going in that direction. Starting position is this. More we go into the ego department, the Ravan department, there is a full department, dedicated function of paranoia.
Yes, we only realize the contrast when we really experience that mind without the drop of poison, I think. Could we say that whenever there's a sense of separation and or discomfort, it is from ego or Ravan?
Absolutely. Without Ravan, if there is no Ravan, there is zero vibration of desperation, zero vibration of disappointment, and of course, zero vices. Leave aside sorrows and all, but their vibration doesn't exist. So when we are talking about this soul consciousness, we need to give ourselves this chance of going for 100%, that radical position. Because now you understood, it's a story. And in the story, there is a script. And we also say it is a fixed script. So what are you worrying about? What are you complaining about? We handle other stories, James Bond story, we handle it quite well for half an hour story. Can we do this for this bigger story? Then instantly you will find that space where there is this Ravan's department is bypassed. Paras can help us handle this bigger story because Paras can have this broad, can hold this broad perspective, big map. And what we are emphasizing, it is not Prashant trying to become Paras. Prashant is part of the story. It is the soul that is becoming conscious, invisible traveler, who is not from the story. He is understanding that this is a story and understanding his independence from the story. And that's why story cannot make him insecure, even the slightest. And as we are playing with this, there is no reason for desperation. Story is going to finish, sure. You might plan something, but it's no problem. So there are no disappointments and there are no vibrations of Ravan of any kind. We can play with it now, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. As you play with it, instant, those feelings of silent contentment, those higher feelings, they will follow. Start with a glimpse, you'll get a glimpse of this, they will as if descend, super sensuous experiences. Do it as a homework also. Now let us come to another experience today. But before that, any other comments, questions?
Yes, just one more maybe at this stage. At the beginning, you talked about when we are coming to spirituality, for a while, we're thinking how we can improve the life of Cinderella in the story, better job, comfortable life. And then you mentioned about the ego wants to make the role spiritual. So the question could be some confusion. How do we really know if it's the perspective of ego wanting to make the character or the puppet spiritual, or if the soul is really awake, if one has been working at the drama level, making ego-based effort? How do we know we're on the right track?
You just come on the right track. There's not need too much to analyze. Go for the highest. We understood what it means to be soul conscious. Come in that space. Few checking is necessary that you are the soul that is conscious. He understands his independence from the story, independence from the role. Worth writing this down and underline it. Then during those seconds, minutes, you are soul conscious. That feeling is there, that invisible traveler, invisible actor, he is from that supreme home. That's why he is a traveler here. He's conscious and he understands. The rest all is Cinderella. And he understands his independence from Cinderella. Prashant is part of the Cinderella team, one of the characters. And temporary, his whole thing is going to finish any moment. The Prashant part is going to finish. And the invisible actor can see this very clearly and understands his complete independence. Prashant is not an extension of the actor. The story is separate, his roots are different. Get that clear even for minutes, as we said, and that is going in the right direction. Repeatedly come back to it. Otherwise, we may use the language soul, 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 but it is all mixed. And then it is not soul consciousness at all. If it is mixed, then it is ego is there. People in the world outside, they also talk about the soul. They even write books on the soul, but they don't even know what they're getting mixed is, what ego consciousness is. So we could do the same, use the language of soul, but it's all mixed.
Find it helpful to know that it is easy, that it's very easy model. It's just to know that ego doesn't want to do it.
Yes, ego has got an absolute agenda to prevent you from doing this.
A very quick question, a very simple question. Who writes the script of the story? Is it Ravan?
We are the co-creators. We are responsible for our script. Consciously or subconsciously. So I was going to come to another important part. And is that okay?
Yes, please continue.
In our earlier sessions, I'm talking here our Sanjeevani sessions, we have mentioned at one point that the physical world is a reflection of the alokik, subtle. What you are experiencing at a subtle level influences the physical. We gave the example of in the reincarnation studies, if someone at the time of death, he carries the impression, I lost a finger. That's all. At the time of death, he has lost the fingers. In the next birth, in the next body, he is born without the fingers. We saw the examples and we saw the photographs. They are born with scars and they are born with deformity based upon what impression they created in the earlier life. So this impression, what is happening? That impression is happening at a subtle level. It is not gross. It is the mind that is experiencing. So based on that, we also saw if you are experiencing in your mind at a subtle level. Yoga is with problem, and then in the physical level, there will be a problem. Whatever the problem is, if the yoga is with problem, if you are having yoga with why someone is, disharmony, you are having yoga with difficulty relationships, that feeds, in the drama, you will get the problem. It perpetuates the problem. We have the option. We are creating golden age. How do we create a golden age? Not through technology. In a present world, this is with technology. But a golden age is a creation of consciousness. It is another different phenomena. So you are experiencing the celestial celebration. Mind is experiencing this. So the one who is conscious, soul that is conscious, what does he experience? What are his experiences? So I'm going to write a few words here and worth making note, but also experience as I'm talking. The soul that is conscious, seen from beyond the story, his experience, big experience, is of perfection. This is, everyone is perfect. Here we were talking, everyone is a being of bliss and love, but also they are free from all that department, whether it is in mind with complaint, in mind with comparison, something, all these things that we don't like in other people, we don't like it in ourselves. This family of souls, they are free from this. So not only the souls are perfect, that home is a supreme home. He sees the self, there is perfection, perfection in God. But how does he see drama? Does he see drama has a problem? Does he see James Bond has a problem? No, he sees drama is also a perfect drama. Dragon is playing that part well, and King Kong is playing that part very well. And, King is playing his part well. It is a perfect drama. The angle from where he's seeing, he sees perfection. He sees himself full, lacking nothing. And just as it is in incorporeal world, but he feels it is perfect, in the same way he feels it is beautiful. Perfection and beauty are connected. Virtues, that comes in the form of beauty, appears, everything is beautiful, everyone is beautiful. He feels the world is complete. He has got family, he has got father, he has got treasures, he has got bliss and love, and it is complete, missing nothing. And full is lacking nothing, complete is missing nothing. And he also knows he has got all this, but none of them are second best. They are best. That is what he feels. Every aspect is the best. We are talking here. God is the Father. Family, angelic family. And this is not meditation for him. That is his more real than the drama. Drama is a story. Some people will say this is real. He feels that is fiction. But what he is experiencing, that is his the real family, real world, and that is the best. He feels his world is of love. Everyone is worthy of love. That is to start with. Immensely worthy. Harmless, innocent, childlike. Imagine if you are to be with some children, very cute, harmless, nice children or puppies. You feel so much love in your heart for them. This is what is going on. They all are sweeter than the sweetest puppy you ever seen. So always, and at its extreme, they are immensely lovely. So your region would itself is one of love. The soul feels he's lucky to have all of this. The feeling is you got a best, you got God, you got truth, and you got immortality. You got the big thing, and lucky on a big scale. He knows his world is secure. We all want to feel secure. He understands he's secure at absolute level. Story cannot harm him. Any dragons and all, no one can harm him. Nothing can harm him. Ever. Not even the slightest. To compare this to the life of the ego feels forever. Someone can just say a word and it can harm him. Just one word, something, someone said this to me. Whereas the soul that is conscious, he's beyond harm in an absolute way. Nothing can harm him, even the slightest. He experiences this world of harmony. That's why it is like everyone he feels, just perfect and harmonious. Silent harmony with everyone. Personalities are alike. They all think alike and they all mean alike and they all feel good. They all are harmless. His yoga is with success. Because he knows the final score. Once you know the truth is the best, then everything will reach there. One nice expression in spiritual writing. Men are holy. Holiness soon shall refashion their lives. So even if it appears with imperfection, but success is guaranteed. It is like because you know the final score, and it is going in that direction. So he's not having yoga with failure, even if there is failure right now, but he knows the direction is towards success. His yoga is with success. And all of this is forever. This whole reality is timeless reality. It is forever. Awake soul is seeing his home, seeing his father, seeing his family, truth. And these are the feelings he stays in. As we said before, if this is what is happening at a subtle level, what will happen at a gross level? What will be the reflection? We said physical world is a reflection. If at a subtle level you are experiencing perfection and beauty and fullness and harmony and everything is best and you feel you're lucky and everyone is lucky, and if this is what you are experiencing, your yoga is a success. And there is nothing else. It is not that sometimes there is success because you know the truth. You are not in some watching a film and feeling good temporarily. You are seeing the truth, what is eternal. And this is your world. All around, you are experiencing this perfection. The physical reality is a reflection. If you are experiencing this, this is celestial celebration. Already happening. You are feeling you are lucky, you are feeling others are also lucky. That is helping them also discover why they are lucky. And silently, that is happening. It doesn't stop at celestial celebration. Celestial celebration will influence what? It will influence terrestrial celebration. It may happen in the confluence age itself. Why not? But golden age is the definite reflection of this. But signs of it we will see here. This is like a guaranteed way you can influence. We were saying we want to be detached from the physical world, but more you become detached, you are actually influencing it in an immensely positive way. And it is not possible you get something right at a seed level and the tree doesn't become healthy. That is not possible. If the seed is put right, it will benefit at all levels. And so that is what happens. Excellent. So we'll hear some more thoughts.
It's like a beautiful summary of the subject and of the retreat. Comment in the chat. Baba says, Maya may come with full power. So physical level may also get affected. Or does it remain the same like that of the subtle level? I don't know if I understand the question. Do you understand?
Maya will come, and Maya's job is to come. But our job is, you got light. With light, you can understand Maya, you can stop Maya. Maya comes doesn't mean you have to accept defeat from Maya. When there is light, there is victory.
Yeah, thank you. Sometimes Baba says Maya comes to take leave. Comment from a little earlier. Why do we have the desire to be well liked or appreciated or understood in Ravan's world?
These things, ego can have all kinds of desires. It is not universal. When ego is certain ego dominating, that feeling can come. But when you step back, you feel all your needs are fulfilled because all souls are loving and lovely. There's self-respect. Everyone is worthy, that God loves the soul, these kind of feelings. So then there is no need, there's no beggar anymore. One who is stepping behind is lucky at all levels. But the soul feels.
Interesting how it came at the very end that actually with the celestial celebration comes the terrestrial celebration, physical world. And this absolute clean detachment is actually what is bringing the influence. So there's no agenda from Ravan, which is often we get sort of new students asking about law of attraction. And would you like to share a bit about the difference when this celebration is affecting this world? How is that different?
From law of attraction. Yeah, some might have watched a film called Secret, and some theory of called law of attraction, which means you say, I want money, and you get money. This kind of, and I'm making it too simple. I want a castle, you think of the castle and you get a castle. That's what they say. We don't say that we are not talking about law of attraction. What we are talking about is a different game altogether. And you are experiencing something at a subtle level, not at a drama level. Drama, we want to be free from. We don't want anything from drama. Someone in Hafiz, actually, the poem by Hafiz, 7 centuries in the past, this poem. And this poem, you run after the shadow runs away. You go after the sun, shadow runs after you. So that is a nice formula. You want something, more, I want more, I want someone to love me, I want love. Everyone will run away from you. You don't want anything, you are quite happy, you are content. Then things start running after you. So one who is a yogi, he knows he is lucky at another level. He is neither begging nor demanding nor using law of attraction. He is not. He knows the story. In the story, one scene is as good as any other scene. And that attitude remains forever, whether it is now or in the golden age. But the drama is such, the law of the drama, you are running away from the shadow. Shadow runs after you. That is the law of the shadows.
That helps. We have a different law of the shadows. And we'll see if we can locate the poem and put it in the chat. And the name is Hafiz.
Hafiz, yeah.
Hafiz. Oh,
Maybe
yes.
we can get it in the G drive at least.
Yeah, Mehmet has typed it. Just a comment in the chat, the awareness of being in the seed's field of experience is a helpful thought because it allows me to cultivate the seed consciousness more. Well, be more conscious about that. So it would maybe be a good time to create space for discussion. If that works. And if so, would you like to suggest a topic, focus?
This will be a good area. Now, also a big incentive how to play this game. Get that. There's 3 areas. That we said 3 problems, our present condition, and how to get victory over these 3. This should go into our awareness, consciousness. What are we dealing with? We are dealing with being caught in the web, being unconscious, and Ravan's rule. This is the starting position. And that is why we are here, to address this. Our destination is celestial celebration. So it will be nice to have discussion on this. The journey from the bondage to celebration.
How to go from the 3 areas of bondage, being caught in the web, soul being unconscious, and Ravan's rule to the celestial celebration. Put that in the chat. So again, as you probably all know by now, it's around 10 or 15 minutes, giving a chance for all to share if possible. Typing help if you need to come out of the language group, and do come back for the final part of practice and sharing. So see you soon. Enjoy the discussion. Shanti, welcome back. Feeling different energy being back in the room. So we're going to take a minute together of some silence. Thank you. The feeling is this session is like consolidating and deepening what we already have, these maps, but it's like going more into the details has been very nourishing. And, we will be sharing any images you wish. We can put them on the drive, the screen share images. So handing back to Prashant, and we do have a question lined up for you, but you may want to start with practice, not sure.
Sure. So let us create a few moments of attention. one beautiful step for us is start with the best instrument, that is paras for us. And with this, we see the way the goddesses. We literally are going for the best. There is zero confusion. So with this, we are seeing a story as story, what is temporary as temporary. And if it is a joke, we are seeing it as a joke. Then there is no going back. Is it a story? Is it not a story? No. For Paras, it is obvious. This helps us to step behind the story. We are seeing the reality. We are seeing the true family and the true home. We are seeing the true self. All alaukic. This is the world with the God, world of God. World that is timeless. For Paras, this is all natural and normal. This environment of knowledge, helps the true self to become conscious. And then it is the perspective from the soul. That's where we want to be. For him to be that invisible presence is natural. For him to be immortal is normal. For him to understand his complete independence from the whole story, that is normal, obvious.
Just to say, Paul needs to toggle to German. You're translating on English channel at the moment. Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
So just the soul becoming conscious, we are seeing the perspective from the soul, clean perspective. It is not knowledge for him. It is like the experience. Immortality is normal. To be from the family of God is normal. Conscious soul, he feels worthy. He hasn't got the complications of the story. He hasn't got no reason to feel unworthy. He knows he is worthy to be loved by God and belongs to God. Presence, he knows this eternal presence, invisible presence. That's why he naturally feels he's lucky. For him, world is of perfection. His life is with angelic souls, all egoless, sorrowless. His life is with God, one with the wisest and holiest. He knows his supreme home. He knows the story, the great story. He is able to see from beyond. That's why naturally he feels his world is complete. and full. He lacks nothing, misses nothing. His world is of truth, and there is a silent contentment and silent bliss. So he knows he lacks nothing, he misses nothing. Nothing can ever go wrong for him. In the story, there may be destruction and death and many things happen, dragons. But he knows nothing can ever go wrong. Such is the perspective of the conscious soul. That's why there's silent bliss, silent peace. He also understands his world in every aspect is the best. Best father, best family, best home, best mind, best fortune, and that too forever. He knows his world is of love, immense love. Whoever he sees appears lovelier than the next. Just as what we hear in the Mugli, that language. That is what he feels. Everyone appears lovely. And they are lovely. And they are angelic. And they are godlike. He silently understands that this is forever and forever safe. No one can be harmed by anyone. This dimension is such that nothing can ever harm. Only the other world is the story world. And story cannot harm the reality. Not even the slightest. Very secure, carefree. It's a world where everyone is in kilta. That is, they move together. They all feel love. They all feel happiness. There is no disharmony. So feeling of being in total togetherness, movement together, harmony. And all of this is forever. This is a timeless truth. Just as we are seeing this reality always exists. How extraordinary that most of the time they are spending stuck in some corner of this drama and completely ignoring this celestial truth. So even if we create time and give it attention, it is giving importance to this real world, even for a few minutes, it is like a huge contribution to the world. We make it easy for the family of souls, unlimited family, to discover this big truth. It is their truth. Just like creating light in this celestial truth. Our attention is like light. And more we introduce within our life this factor of service. One is to discover this truth for us, and other is making it easy for others to discover it. That becomes an extra incentive to overcome Maya. Otherwise, there are factors of Maya that can slow us down. So you bring this another factor. That more you shine light here, it becomes easy for others. And as a result, everyone wins. Our program is in 3 words. Baba's program is in 3 words. To go above, beyond, and higher. Thank you. Nice to hear any comments, questions.
Can feel that it's helpful to go into the depth of the celebration. I could sense a question in myself earlier, a part of probably one of the egos saying, not totally sure what's wrong with the drop of poison as defined by just a question or a concern or a complaint. That drop of poison is blocking the celestial truth. So we don't even realize what we're missing when we're experiencing the mind of little complaint, little criticism. So when we just take that jump and just see from that view, and then at least we get some flavor of this extreme unconditional celebration. And the extra incentive is the contribution to the family of souls is very good, because otherwise Maya turns it into just a isolated exercise, but it's actually much more about the community of souls. We just have some appreciations. They're very much enjoying, but any other comments you'd like to type would be lovely. One comment, maybe a new student's asking, wanting to clarify, in the golden age, do souls have a material existence or are they incorporeal?
Their stages, they are incorporeal, but very much in the physical world. But they are in truth. They are soul conscious.
It's interesting how when we see these images of deities, we see the physical, but it's much more about the consciousness, and the soul is seeing himself as independent, which is the stage. Then maybe a question. There's a notion we need to be in bodies to experience happiness or sorrow, which is something that came in a class by Mama recently. anything you'd like to say about that? How to understand it? We need to be in bodies to experience happiness or sorrow.
When it is a bit like when we are in the home, supreme home, that time everything is merged. The personality remains, but it is merged. I don't necessarily use the image of the sleep, but it is like that. Person may be falling asleep. So many things are around him, but he's asleep. When he's awake, everything is immersed. So that is the nearest example. So when we come in the drama, your inner personality is also immersed.
One more question. If I'm not in the celestial celebration while listening to the Murli, is it Ravan listening to the Murli?
Yes. In essence, if one is not having attention on soul consciousness, then Ravan is listening to Murli. Nothing wrong with it. It is good for Ravan to listen to Murli than Ravan doing something else. So by itself, not a problem. Gradually, we bring in the awareness and it will change. Because Baba keeps reminding that it will bring that shift. It's our starting position. First day we will not be soul conscious. So it is only ego consciousness.
Thank you. So I like this. We need to see the angle from which this soul sees, and that perfection and those list of 10 words I found very practical. As we're kind of drawing to a close now, is there anything you'd like to share finally? And after that, we'll put the information about the follow-up, well, the next advanced retreats. But maybe some final comments.
Appreciate very much creating time for this. And Baba's program is a revision. That is what that is useful for all of us. Even we meeting together, it helps everyone. It helps me. It helps those who are taking part. In organizing also. It is a revision, and so to keep that momentum in different ways. What we are emphasizing, if there is anything, is refinement, accuracy. So if we put ourselves in the right direction, then each time we listen to the Murli, it will take us above, beyond, and higher. So good luck.
Thank you. And I feel it's being made easy, especially now. And that's the fruit of all the effort and also the power of this group. It's huge upliftment for all of us who are involved. I can say that personally speaking. And yes, it's a pleasure, and refinement and accuracy. Using ways to make it enjoyable for you, if it's drawing or writing a song or recording yourself, sharing knowledge, listening back, being creative, making groups, WhatsApp groups, sharing points. It helps keep things alive, as I'm sure you're all doing. And a special thanks to the team of silent translators, or in the background. It's also the co-hosting team. So we'll just share on the screen now, maybe to make it easier so you can see. In a couple of weeks, we have a retreat at an earlier time, so not so convenient for Americas, but good for the East. But in another, I think maybe 5 weeks, we have an evening retreat weekend, which will be great for Americas. And recordings will be there if you're not able to attend live. Just register, we can send you the recording by email. We'll send you the recording link for this retreat, and check your junk if you don't hear anything, because this is where things go in the Iron Age sometimes. So thanks to all, and we'll just play a song to finish. And Om Shanti.
If you could see what I see, you'd lose your breath for sure. You are the perfect replications and the ones that I adore. I carved you from a diamond and polished you with love. Then I sent you out beyond the veil so you might choose the love. Oh, my sweet creations, your beauty makes me weep. Oh, my sweet creations, the whole world's at your feet. And one day soon you'll see it. If you could see what I see, you'd never lose your smile. For you walk in thy own footsteps when you walk that second mile. These are more than words, my love. This is poetry divine. My signature is everywhere, for all of life is mine. One day you'll see what I see, and you'll come to realize that every tear you ever cried, I wiped from my own eyes. I know your every feeling, and I felt your every joy. But you and I are one, my child, still illusion was the choice. If you could see what I see, you'd lose your breath for sure. You are the perfect replications. You're the ones that I adore.